Hello, Swivelheads. It's Greg Allison with Swivelhead News, coming to you late live on wee hours of Sunday morning. Guys, there's a lot going on in the world, as you might know. Things are really tense, and nothing is letting up. It's just getting more ratchety every minute of every day. So we're going to share some news articles here real fast, and we're going to go into the news first. We'll cover news, then we'll get into some of the chat and the weather toward the end. If you just want to watch the news, watch the first part. All right, guys, let's go. I'm going to share screen. And here we are. And I am going to also update the chat room, bring it up so I can see who's in the house. All right, guys. Kim Jong-un has come out and said that he has a lawful right to destroy South Korea. Can you believe it, guys? Can you believe it? The audacity that he would make a claim like that. Holy smoke, guys. This, I'm going to talk about that a little bit. You know, he's come in here and said things such as, he's talking about South Korea as a primary enemy, says it can be detected and destroyed at any time. So the whole problem with all this is as follows. It just, yeah, could be, John. I'm going to avoid talking politics now. I'll tell you why in a little bit. Guys, this is brinksmanship in a sense. It may be bluffing in a sense, but we don't know because he's made a lot of changes in the way he operates. A lot of people out there talking about is he going to war? And a lot of people convinced that he's about to launch a war. That's very dangerous because when you're expecting a war, if you're expecting an attack, sometimes the smartest thing to do is a preemptive strike. So he may be goading South Korea into launching a preemptive strike. Maybe that's what he wants. But as tensions ratchet up like that, that's a risk you start taking. And once you get to that level, now that is part of the game of deterrence is you got to be the tough guy and you got to make the other side believe you could really do something. When you overplay that hand, you're running a danger. You're running a danger that they may take you serious. They may take you so serious that they will move first. And this is something that's applicable on all the hotspot theaters in the world today, especially with all the rounds that's being traded all over the world. By rounds, I mean, the bang bangs, the hot stuff is going on in too many theaters right now. So who ironed my shirt? Nobody. So I wash them and hang them up. Anyway, guys, so this is the real risk, guys, that this could spark off intentionally or otherwise. Now, maybe he intends to do something. We don't know. It's hard to read his mind, but I've talked about this guy many times. I've talked about him having grown up in a world where he was a kid. He's been coddled, kind of like a child star. His worldview is highly warped, especially sitting on top of a country that gives him nothing but dear adoration, to the dear leader that he is to them, supposedly. So he is a case. He's a piece of work. And as such, that makes him dangerous, especially dangerous to have his finger on a big red button. So let's hope that he don't go out and do something stupid. In any event, let's move on here. And if this don't make you think, guys, Iran's nuclear program now, they're saying is at this new dangerous level, extreme danger. So the language on this is getting ratcheted up daily. Now, as you know, Netanyahu wants to strike at him. He's been trying to go to the United States into doing a joint operation. Apparently, right now, our President Potato Head don't really want to get involved directly with Iran. Maybe he never did. He seems to have had an affinity for them for some long time. But all that aside, right now, that's not happening. But it might. We have trained with Israel for joint strikes on Iran. With all the other pressure going on, it might be the tipping point. As you know, Iran's been sponsoring a whole lot of things going on here, and some people are afraid that if they actually get the nukes, that they would use them. Now, I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that is a fear that some people have. Again, it gets into this brinkmanship situation, and if Iran really thinks that we're about to hit them, that's the same thing. It could evoke preemptive actions. Maybe either side might want to take a preemptive action. Israel had already claimed they would do it, that they will not allow this to happen. And even our own president and previous president before him have said that they would not allow it to happen. Now, are they for real? Are they for real? We don't know. But this whole situation going on there. It just ratchets it up further. So we are in everything going on in Europe and so forth, in the South China Sea, the East China Sea. It's cooking everywhere, guys. So, something to think about here. It's a good time to get stocked up, my friends. A really good time to get stocked up. Wait till you see my article. I'm going to show you a little bit on groceries. So you can get a full year supply for less than, for now, $700 off, just $1,988 for an entire year of a long-term storage food that lasts over 25 years, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, that might sound expensive, but when you do the math on it, it comes out to be something like $1.82 a meal. $1.82 a meal when you do the math on it, my friends. That's rather cheap. $1.82 a meal. So, we're talking like $5 something a day. This is like $165 and some change for a whole month. Let's say you get groceries for that today. I don't know how they're keeping it so cheap right now, but for long-term emergency food, that's a great deal. And considering that you can put it in these buckets and you can bury it, you can, especially with these sealed pouches, which you can also throw in your backpack. This stuff's easy to bug out with, and it's easy to stack up because these just things stack up. You don't need shelves. And furthermore, they've still got the special on the Alexa Pure Pro water filter, and that's only $279. Just to give you an idea, if you go over here to Amazon, $449. And you tell me what's a better deal. And if you don't have water, a way to purify and sanitize your water, that's going to get you before the food. Anyway, guys, here's why I've got to be real careful. Everything I've been uploading lately almost has been demonetized. Almost everything. They've been hitting me real hard on this platform. And this kind of explains why. It's the philosophy of this new president. I mean, they was hitting me hard before this guy took over, but he's made some statements that lead to people to write articles titled things like this. So, yeah, he's talking about, they're going to talk about there was more than 50 countries that hold elections this year. He said YouTube is committed to restricting a free information flow, according to this article. I don't think that's his direct quote, but he says, we're ensuring that when people look for an election news on YouTube, authoritative sources are prominent in their searches and recommendations. We've spent years investigating a playbook to responsibly manage content, whatever that means. So, and he's talking about we will quickly evolve and adapt when new challenges emerge, and we'll do it again to he's talking about generative AI and all that. I don't know, guys, but all I know is that my revenues have gone nearly to nothing, even though I've been working harder and putting out more videos. It's all been for naught. I'll talk about that more later. But anyway, let's get back to the news. I just want to show you that and explain why I'm going to moderate what I'm going to say tonight. I'm going to try to be kinder and sweeter and tell no more. I'm going to try to say less than Canadian Prepper, who never gets his videos demonetized except for one in 6 months, and Steve Poplar, who doesn't have any problem with that either. I don't know if I can be that good, but I will try a little. I'm going to see if I can squeeze by and actually get monetized on a video tonight, just as an experiment, because I'm thinking it's a fat chance, because they seem to have it in for me for some strange reason. Anyway, guys, Poland signs military shenanigan. Well, that's a heck of a name. It sounds like shenanigan. Rhymes with shenanigan. Military shenanigan deal alongside Germany and the Netherlands. And what this is, primarily, it's to be able to move troops fast, up close. Yeah, Nate says a lot of stuff that I can't get away with. I don't know how they get away with it. But anyway, yeah, I know. He's absolutely middle of the road politically. So I'll try to be middle of the road tonight. So there's some articles I really wanted to share that I'm not going to share. That's something Colonel Cole referenced here. For the purpose of this video, there's plenty of news to cover, so we'll get through this stuff. Poland and the Netherlands and Germany are setting up a corridor through Europe, through Eastern Europe, to right up to Ukraine, to supply Ukraine and to move troops. And they're talking about moving troops. Now, if they move them in, we've heard what Putin had to say about that in his interview he had with Tucker Carlson. So that could be very problematic. These are NATO nations. they may get us into an Article 5 situation over there real fast. I don't know, guys. So, and then we got Chucky Schumer here claiming that, wow, if you don't fund this border deal, if it's not passed, the U.S. troops will be in Europe fighting. Really? Based on what? What's it? This is probably just political posturing. Let's hope that's all it is, because there's no reason to connect those two events that I can see. You know, one does not necessarily equal the other. And funding to Ukraine, if they fall, doesn't mean we have to put troops there. That's it might in the minds of some people, and it could happen, especially that corridor thing going. And if something happens to vote Article 5, and maybe it's all planned. Maybe that's part of this steadfast defender exercise going on over there right now. I don't know, but there's plenty of room here for things to get bad in a hurry. Just another reason to keep your eyes wide open and head on a swivel, my friends. Anywho, Russia, you know, this is just a slugfest of it. Russia is just, you know, they're again unleashing it. And I'm not going to read that headline because that would surely get me slapped. Although other guys can read that kind of stuff and talk about that kind of stuff, I'm thinking that, you know, I can't do that. Anywho, Chinese warship spotted near Taiwan in the Japanese-controlled area of the East China Sea. So I'm saying it's not just the South China Sea. It's not just Philippines. They're over near the Japanese islands. So there's lots of tension. And, well, you know, even despite the fact that Christopher Wray, FBI, told us that taking down Vote Typhoon, guess what? In spite of all of that, the hackers just keep targeting U.S. water and electricity supplies. Now, and they got more tools than just cyber attacks, my friends. They got more tools than that available to them. They've got, you know, apparently from the large transformer that's in Sandia National Laboratory is being investigated. That's got the, according to some, it's got some black boxes in it from China, and they have capabilities. So they're keeping this classified, probably because the president signed an executive order on his first day in office that said it rescinded Trump's executive order, says we wouldn't put Chinese equipment in our critical electrical infrastructure. Well, some of that stuff that's coming over here apparently has, according to some sources, cell phone technology in it that can report back to or possibly commanded from China. So that's not software hacking, that's a hardwired in implementation. And of course, there's no sleeper cells over here. There's none of that. They couldn't do anything with all these people coming across the border. Now, could they? Nah. Anyway, guys, this is something to take serious. Like I said, even that sheriff that did that report that I showed you guys a couple of days ago, he was claiming that they were getting hacked continuously down at the local offices, down at the sheriff's offices, the county offices even. They're hacking all over the United States, guys. It's not pretty. Why would you do that if you did not have ill intentions? Why would you be slipping so many people across the border? I don't know, guys. Just what do I know? I'm just some poor dumb rocket scientist. Anyway, in terms of what's going on with Israel, Egypt is really, really concerned. They're threatening to get rid of the peace treaty they've had with Israel since the Carter days, when Carter and got Menachem Begin and Anwar Sadat to sign a peace deal way back in the 70s. And what they're worried about is that, yeah, well, they're talking about if Israel storms into the Rafah part of Gaza, but what they're worried about is refugees coming across the border into Sinai, which is legally a part of Egypt. Although geographically it's more Israel probably, but that's beside the point. Unlike the United States, Egypt won't tolerate even asylum seekers from a country and a group of people that they say they support, being the Palestinians. They don't want them, not even as asylum seekers. And nobody's more desperate right now probably than the Palestinians, because they are being put in a world of hurt. I'll choose my words carefully here, because I don't want to get slapped by the platform. But guys, you can see what I'm talking about here. This is what's going on. And not only them, but Saudi Arabia too. I hope I don't close this article trying to click on it. There you go. Saudi Arabia warns Israel very serious repercussions if ground invasion of Rafah proceeds. So whatever that means, you know, they were on the verge of having a peace deal between Saudi Arabia and Israel before all this occurred. And maybe that was one of the objectives of the whole operation that took place on 7 October was to torpedo that. Maybe it had many different objectives, given some breathing room for Vladimir Putin, cut the eyes off what's going on in Ukraine, occurred on his birthday. Some say it was a birthday gift from Iran, and also to Vladimir, but it also took eyes off Iran. And I've suggested all this stuff may have given them some means to run for the goal lines in the development of nuclear weapons, quite possibly. So this is something else to be concerned about. Anyway, I will come back and look at the chat room a little bit, guys. I'm gonna get through the news first. For the people to be watching in the morning. So former Houthi guy who was formerly a Houthi, he's no longer a Houthi. He's talking about blind spots in the U.S. Red Sea crisis. And what he's talking about primarily is that all we're doing is hitting the stuff that's out there and open and easily replaced. He says the stuff that we're taking out, the launchers and the artillery, the things that we're hitting are things that the Houthis can replace very easily. You know, I think we've hit a warehouse or two. So that's the gist of this article. And as you might know, we're actually having a missile problem in the Red Sea. Imagine that. So we need enough missiles to be able to deal with China if we get into it with them. Well, we're already being challenged with the missiles that we have because we're using so many there. You know, it's only said we had enough for a few days war with China, which is not nearly enough. If we go down that road, hopefully we don't. But in any event, what they're talking about doing is taking the Army's PAC-3 missile and using it instead of the SM-6s, SM-2s, and SM-3s. So here's talking about the SM-6 missile, which is that's the one they typically use in the combat there. So they're talking about replacing the SM-6 with the PAC-3 missile. The PAC-3 doesn't have as much range as the SM-6, but maybe they don't need it for what's happening in the Gulf there. They're a lot cheaper. They're being produced at a higher rate. And that's why they're thinking of using that Army missile, which the headquarters for developing. That's just down the road from me here at the Redstone Arsenal. So it might be a win for the Army, the Army team. But in any event, it just shows you where we're at with the supplies. Now, that missile might not be good enough to take on China with, though. So they probably need to hold some of their stuff in reserve because you got longer range fighting if we get involved with China. We can't get as close to the Chinese because Chinese have aerial denial systems with their anti-access aerial denial, missiles to keep us far ashore from their shores. So, and again, of course, the reigning back militias are claiming they're going to be attacking more on U.S. troops and ships at sea too, guys. So they're saying we're going to renew those attacks. They're not letting up. And to make it even more interesting, there's talk that the Houthi pirates are about to reemerge because, you know, the eye's been taken off them. You know, they kind of got knocked down and got quiet for a while because of the enforcement we were doing in the area. So, but there's discussion that they may get active once again, taking ships. Because, oh yeah, another thing in that previous article I forgot to mention about the weak spot with the Houthi rebels is that it's actually thought that they will try to block the strait there. What's the name of that strait? It's I know it. I can't think of it at the moment. Yeah, that strait that leads into the Red Sea. That they have claimed they would block it off, and they might do that. It's Jesus. Can't think of it off the top of my head right now. But that strait, they're talking about blocking it off entirely. Anyway, so I'm glad to see you guys on the live stream. I will read the chat here in a little bit. Let me get through the news first. So that's some of the stuff that's cooking. Now, Philippines, the United States and the Philippines are conducting joint exercises right now. As you know, the Chinese are putting a lot of pressure on the Philippines right now. And the Philippines are actually planning to shore up their defenses on some of the shoals out there, and China's fit to be tied over it. So we'll see where that goes. Lots of potential for conflict there. Another thing, China's weapons, I've talked about this too previously. You're talking about how like their J-20 might not be as advanced as our F-22 or F-35, but it's close. It's very close, and they have more of them than we've got of ours. So in combat, being outnumbered by these, so they're almost good enough. They're good enough to take on our aircraft. They might not be quite as good, but numerically, given the numbers they have and how fast they can produce them and replace them, which is a lot faster than us and a lot cheaper their weapon systems are, it follows the Mao Zedong philosophy that there is a quality in quantity. So we focus on quality, but he's always said there's a quality in quantity, and that applies to this. But their stuff is good enough that they're really making their presence known in these military air shows and other places like that, these defense shows that get put on in different places in the world. And that's what they're showing here, which also suggests that they'll be cutting into the U.S. market. One of the big areas that we maintained some market in for a long time was export of weapons of defense. So China is trying to edge in on that now. So just they're trying to take some of our market share away from us in that regard, for whatever that's worth. Just a word of the wise there. And if we don't have enough hot spots in the world, Venezuela's putting troops on the border of Guyana. They're expanding military bases down there. Satellite photos are showing it, just like when Russia was massing to go into Ukraine. Now, there'd been some talk like Venezuela and it kind of made an agreement with Guyana. Well, those agreements are only as good as the time it takes for troops to start moving. So, if you want to find out how good agreements like that last, just ask Chamberlain, from back in before World War II. Anyway, guys, somebody's got an aggressive ambitions. No treaty with them is worth the paper it's written on. So, and for the border news, highest number of apprehensions in U.S. history occurred in the first quarter of the fiscal year 2024. And they had totaled, now this is catch and release, guys. These ain't people they catch and turn back. 785,422. 785,422, which means the numbers are going up. Now, if it stayed the same and you play that forward for 3 quarters of 2024, that would be over 3 million. So far, under the current administration, we've had 6 million in 3 years. So this is an escalation. More and more are coming across, not through Texas. So they're coming across through New Mexico, Arizona, and California now. So they're streaming across, directly streaming across in big numbers. So, this is something to be concerned about, guys. Because who else is coming across with them? I showed you the article where 30,000 were suspected or suspects for having been around. They're basically like on a watch list because they've been around too many areas where bad activities have been going on. But, we've seen no effects of this here in the United States, right? Well, it turns out that cartels from Mexico have taken on this town in pretty much Port Orchard in Washington, D.C. on the Puget Sound. They're just raining high levels of violence out there. It should be a very peaceful community. But that's not the only place. This is spreading all over the United States, guys. So you pull up this other. I lost it. There was another city, too. There's one up in, dadgummit. How come that got there? That shouldn't be there. We already looked at that. I think sometimes this stuff skips. Here we are. This is it. Yes, they're now spreading to Montana. They're targeting Montana. The cartels are. They are everywhere, guys. Everywhere. Just like Chinese safe houses in every state, according to that Ohio sheriff, whose video that I showed you guys the other day. We're going to talk about that video. We're going to talk about my coverage of it because somebody threw a nasty comment up to me about that. So I'm going to explain something here in a little bit. that a lot of people may not understand about YouTubing and what you have to do to not get copyright strikes and stuff like that. So, and you know what? Now even Democratic mayors in sanctuary cities are crying, not just New York and some of those places. This is the mayor of Denver. He's crying about how many they're getting in Denver now. Well, you know, hey, they're spreading out all over the country. And, you know, Texas, when they're been sending buses elsewhere, they've just been sharing the misery that they've been feeling for decades. So why should the border states have to absorb everything themselves? So now they're feeling the same pressure, but they're going there anyway. You know, these guys are spreading it all through the country. And here's another little point of news that this is a little bit dangerous topic here, but it turns out there was a bunch of billionaires that crusaded against those gas hubs and, you know, some of the southern states here from operating and selling LNG. Samuel Turner, good to see you, sir. Salute. Thank you for the super chat. Hadn't seen you in a while. Thank you, sir. Wow, that makes it a great night. And I'll have a swig of coffee to you, buddy. Oh. Toast to Samuel Turner. Thank you, sir. Been missing you. I was hoping you was okay. All righty. So, you know, it turns out, you know, they claim it's for environmental purposes, but the American natural gas industry is a lot cleaner in the way they handle stuff than the alternatives. Those guys will be buying the natural gas from somebody else, some other countries where they're a lot less clean, a lot more leaky. So this whole notion that it's doing something good for the environment is Boulder Dash, as Colonel Potter used to say in the TV series MASH. That's a good way to call it, Boulder Dash. Thank you, Samuel Turner. Anyway, so guys, this is something that we've got to consider, because this just kind of like, you know, oh, if it's down in a red state, we'll just nix it. I don't know. Maybe I got my crosses wired. Anyway, and farmers in this country are suffering, guys. A cattle farmer warns that plunging beef supplies reached a crisis point. So Americans are going to pay a high price. Well, the reason for that is because of the regulations that are put upon them, because they don't want you eating beef. Well, yeah, I just saw a big picture somewhere. I wish I had it pulled up where Zuckerberg is sitting at a table with just huge portions of beef right in front of him. Well, yeah, that's about right. They can fly around their private jets and eat big chunks of beef, whilst we eat the bugs and pedal our little tricycles around in 15-minute cities. That's fine with them. Do you think they're going to give up what they're eating, or going to give up flying around their big jets, private jets? Although, no. What's good for, what's good for thee is not good for me. Anyway, as you can see, in Poland to Spain, all throughout Europe, farmers are protesting, are ramping up the protests. They're having hundreds and hundreds of protests. They're shutting down roads. They are really giving it to the officials there, because the same kind of regulations have been getting poured on them. And it's not just the cattle farmers, it's happening all over America. Farmageddon, how the Biden administration's European style, yeah, this stuff right here, what these guys are protesting about, they're trying to bring it here. European style net zero push will rule. U.S. agriculture jack up fuel and fertilizer costs and make families spend $1,300 or more a month on groceries. $1,300 or more a month on groceries. Wow. Are you guys ready to pay $1,300 a month just for groceries? That's what this article claims. Maybe that's a good reason to go back to look at that special I was showing you on My Patriot Supply, because look, it's $166.50, 50 cents basically a month, $166.50 a month basically, instead of this $1,300. So that's a good reason to go back over here and look at My Patriot Supply, guys. But go to my website if you're going to go to that. Use my link, please. That helps me, because I actually seriously need some help on this platform, because I'm not making squat here anymore. Anyway, we'll talk about that more in a little bit. So Farmageddon, my friends, is American farmers going to be blocking roads too now? They'll probably put us under some kind of emergency deal. Hey, new days. They'll probably put us under some kind of emergency deal here, like I was talking in one of my earlier videos on here earlier. declare a national emergency and shut down the highways. I don't know what they can throw at us. Bugs or so. Yeah, but look, the farmers have already been losing money. You see this under the current administration. And farms have the most capital intensive industry in America. When you look at what they got to spend for their equipment versus what they put out, their margins are tight. They can't really handle this. So you got to be really concerned. Thank you for sharing that link there, Michelle. That's the one you need to use. All right, my friends. Now, if you're in here from England, we get a lot of people in here from England and sometimes from Norway. There's a lot of claims, a lot of discussion right now about the Gulf Stream shutting down, the Meridian Current, Atlantic Current. They think it's been dropping in intensity, and they think it may actually shut down. If it does shut down, think about, England's going to be colder than Newfoundland. So it's going to get bitter cold in England if that occurs. And Norway, whoa, it's going to be like Alaska. And it'll be like Alaska and England almost. It's going to be really cold without that Gulf Stream. Now, here's the crazy news. I got to throw up a little crazy news every now and then just for entertainment purposes. Millions, not a few, millions of toothbrushes have been hacked. If you got one of these electric toothbrushes that's in the internet, why would a toothbrush need to be on the internet of things in the first place, guys? Why does your toothbrush need to be connected to the internet? For Pete's sake. Well, now look what all this smart devices buy you. Hacking. Millions of toothbrushes could be used in cyber attack. Wow. 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 Oh, that's claimed to be a credible concern there. Millions of toothbrushes. Think about that next time you brush it. My toothbrush is manual. It got no electronics in it. Why do you need electronics in your toothbrush? Well, that's your powered electric toothbrush. But even the old ones didn't require software and internet connections. Holy guac and smoke-a-moly. Samuel Turner, wow, salute to you. Thank you. You just double my income for the whole month. Thank you, Samuel Turner. Do not stress out. Get yourself a feast and watch the Super Bowl. Like Taylor Swift. I don't even have a television unless it's on the internet. I wouldn't see it. Anyway, yeehaw. Now here's some more crazy news. Here in Alabama, in Jasper, I believe it was, a 200-foot radio station, 200-foot tower was stolen without a trace. I mean, the town lost its radio station. It was covering Walker County. They noticed the station was off air. They called the maintenance guys, and when they got there was nothing. They even took all the equipment. They took the tower and all the equipment out of the little building that housed all the radio stuff. And this station had been on the air continuously since the 1950s. Now, you talk about crime. How brazen is that? And how in the world do you get away with stealing a 200-foot tower? And how are they going to hide that? It's not like you can go down to the junkyard nearby and sell it for scrap because everybody's going to know what it is. Is that crazy? Is that just absolutely? That's not. Sammy Turner's made my month already. I'll show you a little bit, guys. So that is just crazy. This is just nuts when something like this can happen. And Jasper's not that awful far from me. It's probably a couple-hour drive down there. But holy smoke, guys. A 200-foot radio tower stolen. I mean, these thieves will take anything now. You know, you got to wonder, was it some Chinese going to set up their own little radio communication system? I don't know. Maybe somebody wanting scrap metal, but holy guac and smoke-a-moly, that's just off the charts. Well, I'm talking about being concerned like the Internet of Things and toothbrushes. If you got to worry about toothbrushes, what about cars made in China, chock full of Chinese electronics? Well, some economists says these cheap Chinese EVs should be kept out of the United States due to security risk. Wow. I thought they probably should at least put a big tariff on them so they at least be competitive and won't put all our automotive industry out of business, which they would love to do. Holy smoke, guys. course, you know, anytime we're buying from China, we're ramping up their factories, which they could then turn and use for making war equipment instead. So, you know, we've built an industrial base, and, you know, in the war of attrition, the country that can produce the most usually wins. So why should we give more to China in those regards? So, all right, guys, this is off the charts, the stuff that's going down now. And yeah, I just I don't want to show the picture down there. I'm going to skip out of that one. I'll go back here. We'll talk that one about showing what the contents. I didn't realize that picture was there. Guys, what's happened? Oregon. Oh, is it Oregon or Washington State? Let's go back. I think it's Oregon. Now, Washington, pardon me. Democratic Governor of Washington, Jay Inslee. Well, he put more restrictive laws on nugs. And right after he did that, what happened? They had a whole new spree of bang bangs going on the highways, surging in the state after that. So what's that old adage? When nugs are outlawed, only outlaws will have nugs. Well, look, you know, crime goes up when people can't take care of themselves. All right, guys, if you hadn't watched it, I put out a new video today on this channel, Swivelhead News. I did some shorts, new short here. You might want to see this. You know, this is kind of a funny song, political satire song I got here. And it's to the, you know, kind of like the lyrics of Lola, but it's Kamala, Kamala. If you've not seen it, watch it. And there's many others here that are kind of funny. The elites can't win, and propane to the tune of cocaine. So I got quite a few of these in here, quite a few of them. So you might want to watch them. A lot of them are like limericks. But that one's kind of a song style, and so that one is propane and Kamala. So watch them. And here's another little funny thing I saw about that video. It was doing really great, coming up real fast, and then suddenly there's a hard break point when it turned over. When you see something like that, that's a change in the algorithm. Maybe the algorithm decided it didn't like it, and it just kind of almost flattened it out. And maybe it would have been flat entirely, but I had put this on some other social media. So I assume these little views here are coming from the other sources I sent it to. Probably it's not getting any recommendation, very few recommendations from the platform now. So I've had one video which went hard over. Nobody, it was going straight up. It was a video I did with a guy who was the missileer that Nate interviewed. I think I interviewed him first. It just so happened he's also running at the time for governor of New Mexico. He was running against the Democratic candidate. And I guess the algorithm discovered that, and it totally flattened. I got 0 views. It was going straight up. The video was rising so fast, it was unbelievable. And then it just did a hard turnover to the right. So, guys, here's the truth. And until tonight, on both from both Swivelhead News and from Green Greg's for all the month so far, we're almost halfway through this month. I'd only earned $165 and some change from this platform. And that's super chats and everything. I've earned very little, and I'm putting in like 12 hours a day on this stuff. So believe it or not, Samuel Turner just practically doubled what I've been able to do this month. Now that's crazy because I've done a lot better. When I was in Arizona, just doing a few videos, I did way better. But you know, that's just the new climate here. They're really stumping down on some of us. So right now, super chats is what I'm operating on. So I have a lot of appreciation for Samuel Turner. Thank you, sir. We missed you. Glad to see you back. All righty, folks. Now, here's an interesting article. This hunter in Texas said that he was out in the field and he saw an eagle across the lake. And he said, you know, God, sometimes I think you don't hear me. So how about just to prove that you listen to my prayers, that you listen to me, how about letting me get close to that eagle? Well, I don't know if you can see it here. But that eagle actually landed on his shoulder. I'll play a little bit of it. I'll see if we can see it here. I'll just skip forward. I don't want to play it. Somewhere here we're going to see it, I think. It's here, but not close. There it is. It don't have no tether on its legs. Whoops. Sorry.
I had a bald eagle land on my shoulder.
Yeah, it's just walking around. Just stay there so they can do a video. Is that interesting? Wow. I guess somebody was listening to him. That's amazing. I don't know. Who gets a bald eagle just landing on their shoulder when you're standing out in the field, especially after prayer like that? I guess he figured somebody was listening to him. I don't know. You tell me. Large cluster of sunspots can cause strong solar flares and affect power grids detected by NASA. Well, it's pretty darn obvious. It's a huge sunspot. And you can see it here. It's a huge complex here. 3576. It's still facing us. For some strange reason, we just had a huge semi on the other side of the sun. For some strange reason, fortunately for us, yeah, I think it's okay, girl. For some strange reason, fortunately for us, the big CMEs have been getting hurled out away from Earth on the other side of the sun. Now, it's always thought that this thing's a random which way they'll shoot, but maybe we're being guarded for a little bit. Maybe we're being given a little bit of chance, a little time. But with all the tension, everything going on in the world, I don't know how long that's going to last, my friends. Don't bank on that situation lasting, because there's been a lot of major CMEs on the other side of the sun. How long till one pops off here, especially when you got a sunspot like that facing us, and there's a big one on the other side of the sun and be coming back around to us that has flared off a major solar storm. So you can look at coronal holes. This is a pretty, solar ham's a pretty interesting site. You can see this stuff in many different forms here. When you go into solar ham, y'all can look at for this yourself. It's one of those net extension websites, and you can even play a lot of this stuff as a movie in here. They got a lot of other data about the flux density coming out of the sun. The corona on Earth, let's see, the aurora activity's picked up. Maybe Arnold can see some of that where he's at. All right, so a lot of data on this site. Now here's a good little video. Play it. Showing some of these flares, some of this activity. I don't know if I blow it up. I'm not sure you guys can see it, because it may go off this, what I got selected here. Anyway, space weather. I'm about to read the chat here in a minute. Again, from spaceweather.com. Again, there's that sunspot. CME impact, and unexpectedly, CME just hit Earth unexpectedly. 11:50. So it hit at 2 a.m. Universal Time today, this morning. It was a G1 or G2. That's it. Now that sunspot. We've had, I guess, a major X flare on the other side of the sun. So some of the radiation we've been seeing from this. Okay, that's not clickable. Here it is. The one on the other side of the sun popping out. Oh, the roll looks more intense here right now. Check that out, guys. Arnold, can you see some of this? Or are you in the chat room? Yeah, there's Arnold. Are you seeing some of this? Aurora activity in your neighborhood? You got anybody else that can see some of that? Asteroids. Ooh. We got one that's coming by on the 12th, a third of the way between the Earth and the Moon. That's just outside our geosynchronous satellite, so that's fairly close, but it'll still miss us. It's only 5 meters. I mean, that would make a big explosion in the atmosphere, especially coming in at 14.6 kilometers per second. That thing is booking. That's one we just discovered. It wasn't on here last time we looked, so they just found that one. A lot of times they find these after they pass by. So let's have a look at this guy here. La 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 la. Orbital viewer. Probably coming in from a good distance out in the solar system. Yeah, beyond Mars. So it's coming out from, the inner part of the asteroid belt, probably originally. You see, it's going to get close to Earth. It's even going to come close to Venus. Wow. That was booking. But still, she missed us by a wide berth, because even coming in just outside the geosynchronous satellite, see, they are 22,300 some odd miles out past the Earth. The Earth's only 8,000 miles in diameter, so a lot smaller than even orbits of the geosynchronous satellites. It's 230 some odd thousand miles to the moon, almost 250,000 miles away. So just give you an idea about that stuff. All right, here's the earthquakes. Wow, Indonesia and Philippines is really rocking through the Philippines. Not the big ones, 4 points. There, I don't see anything that looks like a 5 point. Well, we got up here in off the southwest, Vancouver Island. I'll focus in on these a little bit. Something over here around Italy. Greece. Is that Turkey? That's about where those other big earthquakes were occurring. Down here where the LEHMAN'S are, Djibouti instead. Not far from there. Let's go and look here at the west coast. Two of them on the San Andres here, a couple close to it. That one's kind of close to San Andres, not San Andres. I saw a couple of them right here at the tip of this plate. That's a very common place to see earthquakes. Of course, Jellystone, Yogi Bear gets stuff going off. And of course, there's people dancing hard down there in Puerto Rico. I think that's what all the earthquakes in Puerto Rico about. Those people really like to dance hard. All right, we're not going to, let's see, before we go into windy, I'm going to stop the share for just a minute. And the regular news portion is over. For those that just wanted to watch the news, I'm going to pay some attention to the chat room. Then we'll go back into the weather and cover some things that, is a little bit longer. A lot of the news watchers don't really care for. So I don't want to miss too much of the news here, or not news, but the chat room. Some of it's already scrolled past. No, I guess not. That's the first common thing. Colonel Cole's reported in. Salute you, Colonel Cole. And all the sun. Nanny. Arnold. Sasquatch Moon. True Weather. Good morning. Yeah, he does my weather for me. Hey, we got Jesse Mills from Northeast Arizona. Good to see you again. Hadn't seen you in a while. Getting on a little earlier has helped a little bit get some people in we hadn't got in a while. Got 106 in the room right now. Yeah, come on this platform. Coming over here on Swivelhead, I don't get as many people, quite as many as I got when I was going on Green Greg's. I'm trying to get people to move over here, but everybody hadn't caught on to it yet, unfortunately. So hopefully we can get more and more people coming here, because like I said, I'm trying to not get Green Greg's deplatformed. They shut that down. They may shut all my channels down, but that's my anchor channel, and it's also the channel that I've got a lot of evergreen content on that will be good for years to come. I hate to lose all that. Who has the biggest rocket? Well, Elon right now. That Starship. This is the upper stage of Starship. It's got what's called the super heavy booster. It goes below it. The super heavy booster is a lot larger. That is the largest rocket in the world right now, and it has flown. Until that thing flew, that was the largest rocket, the Space Launch System, which I worked on that for quite a few years. Anyway. But the Space Launch System is mainly being done by Boeing. They're the prime contractor on that. So let's hope it does better than their Star Cruiser, what do they call it, Starliner. They had a lot of trouble with that one. Anyway, Lockheed Martin, though, does the capsule, the Orion capsule. And that thing has flown a couple times. Well, yeah, it's went around the moon, come back. So they've been working out some stuff with the heat shield on that, some issues with that. Russia will smack NATO. Why poke the bear? We shouldn't be poking the bear, I don't think. Let's see. Good morning from Scotland. Hey, Alex, good to see Scotland in the house. Yeah, Scotland, you're up there where if that current should shut down, you're going to be in a cold place. Is there more information on the guy who was on the plane with the flu-like virus? I don't know, Gerald. I haven't seen that. I can't speak to that one. Missing it scrolling. There we go. It's good to see Jesse back in the house, and of course Samuel Turner. Haven't seen either one of y'all in a while. Bugger the platform. Let's see here. Yeah, I try to put out facts, Felicia Bell. That's the simple fact. I try to put out the facts, and I will also kind of let you guys know how I see it based on my assimilation of news for a long time. Like I said, when I was a kid, instead of reading comic books, I subscribed to the military book club. It was reading the patent papers and things like that. Total War. I got a book called Strategy, military strategy. That's the kind of stuff I was reading when I was in like the 9th grade. I was a member of the Civil War book club, and I used to get the Civil War magazine when I was in middle school. So, my interest in these things go way back. And I hated the way that teachers taught history. To them, it was just places and battles and, who won. And, it was so dry and cardboard. History is people. And it's what motivates people. And you don't really get that a lot from a lot of the teachers and textbooks and stuff because they're just so dry. Or it's highly sanitized what they teach you. So if you really dig into it, you'll find that history is very interesting. Now, Colonel Cole is a history major. Anyway, so he can definitely. No, not the Strait of Hormuz. That's the one. This is a different strait. We're talking about the one that goes into the Red Sea, not the Strait of Hormuz. It's oh shoot, it'll come to me when I get the video done. The name of it. It's just escaping me right now. Now the Iranians may shut down the Strait of Hormuz. This is a different strait. Or as war, there are other options. Yeah, there's other options, and we need to work them. But yeah, Biden will surrender before the election. Oops. Well, he might step down, but surrender ours, guys. Yeah, who knows what he'll do? Who knows? A guy who they can't prosecute. I can't talk. I ain't gonna talk about this. Jeez, I may have to go on. I may actually have to do a video on Rumble just so I can talk about some things on it. Might talk about, but anyway, we'll leave it off this platform for tonight at least. I'm thinking they'll probably demonetize this. There's probably nothing I can do to keep them doing that. I don't know. I'm trying to be, NATO Canadian Prepper said last 6 months he only had one video demonetized. Wow. Wow. Thank you, Rodney, for posting the link to Defy the Grid. Yeah, you go to Defy the Grid and use the code GreenGregs. If you go that link, use the code GreenGregs, because when you use that code, I don't get any credit unless you use that code on that site. Use the code GreenGregs, you're gonna get 1% off. And their whole margin is only like 3%, so that's huge. Our replacements are here. Oh, well, that's what some people are worried about. Yeah, Cowgirl's in the house. Good to see her. Absolutely. In Colorado, Jan. End time. Kilt. He said, Mr. I think Meister. Yeah, Kiltmeister. Patrick says a fifth column is any group of people who undermine a larger group or nation from within, used in favor of an enemy group or other nation. Well, yeah, I kind of read you some stuff the other night about Cloward and Piven. Pay attention, guys. Pay attention to that stuff. Thank you for showing the site where they use the donate button. I can check the email here before we're done, see if anybody's used that. All righty. Let's see. I'll go through the chat room a little bit more. Oh, Jesse's gone. If you're still here, thank you for joining us, Jesse. Yeah, he's not as late as we've been. I met him my first trip to Arizona, back to Arizona. I got my placement, started working on my place there. back in August. I believe it's in August, late August when I met him. He actually took me out to dinner up in Sholo. Mighty nice of him. Gave me a nice super chat there. Hey, Judy's in the house. All right. How you doing, Judy? School day curfew is messing up my viewer time. Yeah, she's got to go to bed early because she's taking in her grandson. Rodney Boy's here telling me that it's excellent. Yeah. And chip of wood like crazy. Hey, Zen Gemini, how you doing, buddy? Guys, I've been trying to grow fruit in Arizona for years. I'm looking at native crops, cactus, jumping cactus is edible, prickly pear, Jerusalem artichoke. Yeah, it's always best to grow the stuff that grows there already or something close to it. If you look at Growing Your Greens, I believe is the name of the channel. What's that name? A little short guy. He's always super enthusiastic, at least in the beginning of his video. And his videos go on for like an hour or more always. He's worse than I am about long videos, but he's really good and entertaining and puts a lot of information out. I've ordered seeds from him. I used to remember his name. I can't remember it right now. It'll come to me later. But he's done a lot of videos on stuff you can grow in the desert. So I got to go back and look those up and pay a lot of attention to that. I need to interview him if I could get him on. That would be great. I'd have to interview him on the Green Greg's channel. I have no scruples. Oh my gosh, guys. I've done a video on crime, on some of the tensions in our society right now and some of the stuff that's already happening. And I've uploaded it to Green Greg's. Needed to monitor. My uploads have usually been safe from the demonetization. It's been the live sessions that's got me in the most trouble. They demonetized that one off the bat, and I'm holding off for the review. Now, they may take up to 7 days. Since that video is not such a short fuse news item, I decided to put it under review to see if they might possibly approve it. If they don't, it's probably because I actually I scrolled through the X platform, and there's probably some video in the background that might cause them to not want to do that. I hope that's not the case. If it is, I'll know that I just need to do more videos where I just talk. I don't show any articles, just talk. That's what I was doing mainly when I was in Arizona, but I didn't have all the resources at my computer here, and I couldn't bring up the articles like I do now. All right, so we've been on almost an hour, 57 minutes. Yeah, my sand's almost run out. I can just sit behind me here. God hurt him. There you go. Penalty from 1 year in jail to slap on the wrist. Well, just a lot of places. They just don't have no crime. Oh, yeah. Certain governor from California is decided to be not so lax on some of his laws of late. He's cramping down just a little bit because maybe he's got aspirations for a higher office, especially with all the stuff going on. I don't know. Be careful what I say in those regards. Am I down to the bottom? Chat room? Check the answers. Yeah, a little early tonight. Well, it's tough for me to get on here early. It just takes me a lot of time to put all my stuff together. Yeah, we got a Discord site too. Maybe if one of you mods want to post a Discord site in here. We do now have a Discord site available. Thanks, Alaska Soul, and for setting it up. And a lot of you mods have went in there and worked with them to build it and improve on it. Michelle and New Days have done a lot of work on that site, and some other mods. Missing Norway, Randy. Samuel Turner. Wow. I had to add a little more because I could not resist doubling your month. Oh, you did it. Salute to you. Thank you, Samuel. You actually double where I'm at this month. Wow. Thank you, sir. I mean, that's about all I get is what comes through the super chats right now. I gotta find some other way to do that. I'm trying not to put. One reason I'm not going live every night is because I just don't want to overtax you guys. But wow. Samuel Turner. So Samuel Turner is a consummate prepper. he is set up. He pays attention to it. He takes it serious. He understands what's going on in the world. He really gets it, and he does take action on it. He takes it serious, guys, and we all need to pay more attention. So if he comes in the chat room and gives a little advice, pay attention. The man is sharp on that stuff. Anyway, wow. 13 types of cactuses that are actually edible: prickly pear cactus, dragon fruit, Peruvian apple cactus, queen of the night. Yeah, there you go. Cactus grow well. I got cactus growing on my property in Arizona. So cactus will grow just fine out there. Prickly pear is probably the main thing that's growing well. There's some other variant that's got like a narrow, it don't have the round leaves that most of prickly pear has. It looks just like it, but it is more on the roundish side. I'm going to pull up my email. Oh, somebody sent me a donation. Let's see. Donation received. Michelle Young. Salute to Michelle Young. She sent a donation through the site that she was posting in the link, which goes straight, from my Green Greg's worm site. On that worm order page, there's a donate button. So salute to Michelle Young. Thank you. Much appreciated. All righty. Stan's in the house. Very good. Stan's been in some of our meetings for our Freedom Restoration Foundation. John, we probably need to pull you into that, Colonel Cole. Anyway, let's see here. We'll go back into the weather now here in a second. I just wanted to spend a little time chatting with you guys because, covering the weather. If we really hit it, we'll go around the country. We might do that a little bit tonight. So hang on, guys. We'll do another screen share. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. And there we are. Oh, we do that. Stop the share. I want to share you guys this comment. See that? Yeah, okay. Ding, 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 ding. Let's do that. Let's find it. There it is. But just so people understand what goes into this stuff. I gotta move it. Get it over down here. All right, there we go. Sky Tomcat 8849. He says, as much as I try to watch or even like your channel, there's just too much sensationalism. Even though most of us have seen the sheriff's vlog, you keep interrupting it. Okay, let me explain something. There's something called fair use. If you just play a video outright and if it's copyright, you can get a copyright strike. Now, some channels seem to be able to get away with it, but I know I can't. I have played a little bit of snippet totally under the fair use and talked over and still got hit. So I see some channels will just do anything. I don't know how they get away with it, but I have been hit and I know I can't. Because I guess they put special attention on me. So you have to editorialize, talk. When part of fair use is you don't play the whole thing. And what little snippets you play, you got to editorialize it. So I had to do that. Besides that, everybody had seen it already. So getting my spin on it, what the heck is wrong with that? Anyway, tells me I'm going down the line of Canadian Prepper. Well, I wished I had as many videos monetized as Canadian Prepper. Hey, and Nate's a good guy. Come on. Anyway, too long. Well, and again, something I usually explain a lot of times in my videos. I don't explain it in every video. The news part's the first part. You don't have to watch the entire video, which is something I've said many times. But if somebody that watch all my videos, they miss that. I got 60 some odd thousand subscribers, almost 66,800. I did have 67,000 for a while, but my subscriptions were dropping the whole time I was out west, and until just a couple weeks ago. So apparently people don't catch it when I explain. Hey, the news is in the first part, but I'll show what I explained in a minute here. It says, in other words, the video can be compressed to a half hour. Well, not what I'm sharing with you guys, but anyway. And then he complains about the report on the nuke plant. He said that was going to melt down in a couple of weeks. I didn't never say it was going to happen. I said, if it lost power, it would happen. And that's the truth. But I wasn't talking about the plant once again, but let me explain here. I said, YouTube can give you a copyright strike if you don't follow fair use rules. This is what I explained to him. So I got a strike I've got strikes for less. And, 3 strikes and you're out. So you can't afford that, guys. Though that video was of government official, it was filmed by a local news crew and could have been judged by YouTube as being copyright protected. I've seen LEHMAN'S get hit for covering stuff right from the White House. I mean, geez. It has to be, so YouTube has done that before. Yeah, they've hit stuff that was government. And, I know that because I've seen it on LEHMAN'S channel. That is why I editorialize it. So if you want the news part of my video, watch the first half. The rest is the people on the live chat. As my videos are mostly getting demonetized, the super chats from my audience are all I have. So pardon me for catering to my fan base that is currently my sole source of income. And I said, as for the ZNPP nuke plant, the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, my concerns were never about the plant, but the spent fuel rod pools. Fortunately, they have managed to maintain power to the cooling pumps. Often, it was failing temporarily, and should that fail, you would absolutely have an enormous catastrophe, and that's the truth. I said it was in the middle of a war zone. There's plenty of reason to be concerned, and that is a fact. And, I guess it really helps that, and maybe it's helped that some channels like myself got out and talked about that. Maybe that helped bring attention to the warring parties over there, how much attention they had to pay to it. Within the power grid defense community, let me stop this for a second. Within the power grid defense community, I'm a part of 2 power grid defense committees, the Secure the Grid Coalition and the EMP Task Force on National and Homeland Security. The latter was founded by the late, great Dr. Peter Vincent Pry, who I've interviewed many times on this channel. And I'm now the Arizona State Director of that. I was the Alabama State Director. They've already transferred me. So I have to be getting involved in Arizona, I guess, which might be easier than doing it from Alabama, because a lot of this area is covered by TVA, and it's not something that the state's got any direct control over. So yeah, I've met the public service commissioner here in Alabama, and I met deputies of the public service commissioner. I've met with the EMA director here in Alabama. I even had a meeting set up in Montgomery, but I got Dr. Peter Pry too. I got Dr. Steve Nixon there, and we went and testified. And we spent a few hours testifying to that committee. We had probably 40 people in attendance. We even had a representative from Alabama Power. I thought he might have objected to what we were saying, but he didn't. He never objected at all. But according to Tommy Waller, who did a lot to set up the Secure the Grid group, and he ran those teleconferences for a long time. He's still intimately involved in it. He said it was through me that he discovered and learned about the risk of the nuclear fuel rod pools. And now you see that in articles published by other people, which I showed you guys recently, because nobody was talking about that. And I started beating on it hard and beat on that for a long time. Turns out another guy was doing it independently of me, maybe a little bit before I did. And I wasn't even aware that Tom Popick is his name. He's also in the power grid defense community, but apparently he wasn't beating on as hard as I did, because if the Secure the Grid Coalition found out through me, it was because I was banging on it real hard and trying to draw attention to that, because that's what pulled me into this power grid defense thing in the first place. I was, hey, I could prep. I could always just go off grid and do those kind of things like a lot of you do. But I realized the futility of it if these nuclear power plants spent fuel rod pools go up in smoke. And this is something to take seriously. I brought attention to that, and I was banging on it with regards to what's going on over there. And a few other channels picked up on that. And it's probable that word got out. Some of those channels had connections over there. So it might be possible that some of that transmitted through. I also know that, at least on my Galactic Greg's channel, I get a lot of people from Russia watching that channel. So maybe that panned out. Maybe that worked. You know, I spent a little time in Moscow, about a week back in March of 2010. Probably the best trip I ever made. I enjoyed Moscow. Beautiful city in many ways. And I got to meet with, actually, I met with a group that landed the lander on Venus. I've talked to some of the engineers that were involved in that project, and not just in meetings. I mean, I was going around town with some of these guys. So that was pretty impressive. That was very impressive. But in any event, guys, so, you know, that is a serious situation. And fortunately, they have managed to keep the power. They've only got one power line going there, and it has dropped out a little bit, but not long enough for those poles to go up in smoke. So they managed to reestablish power to it every time it went out. But that's dicey. And being in the middle of a war zone is dicey. But I do think both sides are aware of that now. So hopefully they won't get too crazy about it. But look, there was rounds falling all around that power plant for a while until we started raising a lot of stink about it. And you know what? It's not been so bad since. Maybe we had some effect. You know, sometimes when you put out information, it's like dropping a pebble in a pool. It just makes waves and it radiates out. So if you got a good idea, it just keeps going. And I hope that's the case. So maybe I've had some good impact in that area. At least I would hope that my efforts have contributed in a positive way, because it's my purpose here to prevent things from happening. Otherwise, I would not have chaired 2 power grid defense conferences myself and be involved still in these 2 power grid defense committees. I'm doing this for prevention, because I don't want these things to happen. And that's why I bring you guys a lot of the information I bring you. Is first and foremost, you know, a drop of prevention is better than a gallon of cure, like Louis Pasteur used to say. I definitely subscribe to that. The best way for prepping is to prevent the bad thing from happening in the first place. But then you be prepared in case it does. Well, you can't prepare well if you don't know what the possibilities are. And that's why I put this stuff out there. So, and the only thing that I've actually made an absolute prediction on, I said will happen. Well, there's 2 things. One, I said what will happen is the price of food will go up. And I said that 5 years ago. Has the price of food gone up? I've had somebody, none of your predictions ever come true. That's the only actual, well, there's 2 predictions I made. That's one. The price of food will go up. That's happened, has it not? Am I missing something? Am I missing something? You know, there's this box of chicken I like to get 8 pieces from Publix down the road from me. When I first started buying it, it's $5. Big, juicy pieces of chicken were in it. Now you pay $10, and every now and then you get big pieces. Most of the time, it looks like something come off a quail. I used to get 4 meals out of that box. Sometimes now I only manage to get 2 meals out of it, though the price is double. So what's that? It's like almost a 4 times food inflation. And look what the article I just showed you, where they're talking about all these regulations on the farm. Look what's happened to the price of beef already. And then they're telling us that's going up even more. And then you look at all these regulations, the farmers are crying. What do you think they're protesting in Europe? It's not the farmers. It's not their ability to produce. It's they're being squeezed. And that's why those guys are protesting. Well, they're trying to put the same squeeze on our farmers here. And according to that article I just showed you, according to that article, I don't know, but they were claiming $1,300 a month grocery bills. Wow. Yikes. Storing used fuel rods seems to waste a lot of energy. Need to be a way to put it. Yeah, well, they could reprocess them if they would do it. But part of the problem in the past had been the nuclear mining companies did not want you reprocessing fuels because that was going to eat into their market share. But, you know, I've actually done videos. I know to put them on Galactic Greg, so maybe I put them here. I've done a couple of videos with people talking about how we could easily establish nuclear reactors that would reprocess that fuel easily, safer nuclear reactors that actually be safe to use, that you wouldn't have to worry about. And they just reprocess stuff. So all these things can be dealt with. The solutions are engineering. But so far, there's just a lot of resistance by those that are already out there, that already have contracts in place. They got their lawyers and lobbyists running the halls of Congress. And they don't want any changes. They fight all kind of changes. So sometimes we got to bring this to public attention. That's why I bring these things out here to you to get them in the eye of the public, so awareness can go up. And I created things like the Freedom Restoration Foundation. You go there and you go to the Action Center webpage. I hope somebody posts a link to that in here. And it goes down, it tells you how to contact your state representatives and your national representatives, your Congress critters, and how to chew their ear off about something if you think that they need some attention put on it. So we'll be working at some more in the not too distant future. So I look at this thing from several ways. I'm not just somebody that sits here and goes, oh, the sky's falling. No, I'm an activist. I do something about it. Maybe that's the reason I get banged by the platform. Because maybe I just said too much for this video. Maybe I'm in trouble already. But I'm trying to preserve our society, our way of life. You know, I love the people of this country, you know, especially us deplorables here in flower land. For some reason, I kind of like the deplorables here in flower land, which I guess that's good gracious, right? $20 burgers now. Oh, yeah, $18 for McDonald's. No, food prices didn't go up. I didn't predict that. Now, really, so I've only made 2 predictions. All these other things I talk about, I say these are things that could happen, and they can. If I tell you it can happen, it can, and it may. And we are definitely in a world that we got a lot of tension going on. I warned you guys about sleeper cells years ago, and now it's far worse. If they get activated, we're in a world of hurt, and that's an if. If they get activated, let's pray they don't. But we got people already claiming that attacks are coming. It ain't coming from me. That's coming from the head of the FBI. But he's still more focused on the lone individual. Or mama at the PTA meeting. You know, they need to be going out and finding these guys that are in this country. That's what they need. And the Department of Homeland Insecurity needs to be focused on that rather than trying to jerk as many across the border as they can get. Yikes. Anyway, so yeah, I fear it's going to get worse. Yeah, there's no sign that that's going down. Yeah, that's one reason you need to check out Defy the Grid link that somebody posted in here, one of my mods. I think Michelle put it in here. Go there and use, or no, Rodney did. Use the code GreenGregs and you'll get 1% off. That's where you find things like these lovely gold backs, which I'm fond of. Or you can get coins, you can get bars, platinum, gold, silver, whatever you're interested in like that. Buy seeds right now. That'll be worth more than gold one day. I'm going to do a video on that again soon. Yeah, I like it. He is a good guy, actually. And, you know, he's just putting it out there like he sees it. Gabby, all right. Salute to Gabby. For some reason, I cannot donate through your website. Error message is a country you're trying to send money to, can't receive the paper. Oh, yeah, I did because, okay, I know why that is. If you're international, you probably can't donate to me on that site. And I forgot about that because I can't ship worms to other countries. And I really was scared that people from other countries would suddenly order a lot of worms. The way PayPal works, anytime I have to, if I have to refund somebody, I eat whatever their charge is. And I was always afraid some hacker would try to order a bunch of worms from some other country or something and mess me up. That could be devastating. So I set up a rule where I couldn't take purchases from. I did not know that it applied to the donate button, but apparently it does. So Gabby, salute to you. I appreciate that. Are you down in Australia? That's what it looks like here. So I appreciate it until we get term limits in Congress. Yeah, that would certainly be interesting. Uh-oh. Be careful, Rodney. All right. So, hey, Brandy, how you doing? Good to see you here. All right. Fair enough. All righty. Well, we'll try to come up with some other avenues. That's probably why Arnold couldn't use the PayPal. Forgot about that. These illegals are targeting Asian. Oh, he don't want to use that. That's right. Asian families trying to extort money. Yeah, they got their own little mafias going. All kind of human trafficking. Just all kind of nasty stuff going on with immigration, guys. I better be careful what I say. Thank you, New Days, for posting that. Yep, use the code GreenGregs for 1% off. Yeah, if you go there, I don't get no credit unless you use that code. You get 1% off, and that's what I get. That is the smallest affiliate marketing I got. But a lot of you people buy from that. So that's y'all's favorite thing to go to, apparently. In fact, that's about the only one a lot of people are making purchases on. So a lot of people like that. In fact, when I wasn't even promoting it, people were going there and saying, okay, let me start talking about it some. So I usually do that when I'm talking about economic stuff. And I've been holding back on some of the economic news because I think I might start doing that like part of my morning news on Green Gregs, because that's kind of not political. It's something I could probably post and be safe talking about that. And X-Flares on the sun, red, been feeling rough myself. Wow. Yeah, and some people think it makes people feel bad and it causes health problems. And one of the guys that was really talking about that the most is about the health implications of it. Actually passed away during a major solar flare. Strange. The world is a big mess. Now, see, that's just it. Some people, Normans, they just don't see it, I'm not trying to be sensationalist. I'm just trying to put what the risks are. I mean, how can you be prepared if you don't know what the risks are in the world? And talking about these risks enables you to share the message with other people so they will get prepared. That is crucial, because the more people there are prepping, the less people will be coming to eat you when it goes down. Serious, guys, it's really important. It's one thing like about Arizona. They say 40% of the people in Arizona are preppers. And I'm thinking most people in Arizona are down in Phoenix and somewhat Tucson, mainly Phoenix. And I think the percentage there is a whole lot lower. I think you go up my side of the state, it's by far the majority. I got neighbors in the area; they're all preppers, all of them. So it just goes with the territory. In fact, the northern part of the state, the Mormons are very prevalent, and they are preppers by definition. Their religion requires it. So whatever you think about the faith, I'm not taking any sides on that, but just to know they're prepping makes me feel better. Anyway, is that 3-month food supply is that 3 months or that's one person a year? That's what I showed you. That's enough food for one person for 1 year, 2,000 calories a day. Now, be honest, I would augment it. I wouldn't just eat that stuff. Get your beans, your rice, but mainly grow a garden and learn wild edibles. You're not going to probably get enough starches and carbs from your wild edibles, though. So that's where this stuff can really come in and help you out a lot. Learn to trap and things like that. Hunting, all the big game is going to be gone in just a matter of weeks. So these people thinking they're just going to go out with a big bang and survive a long time, forget about it. That ain't happening. You're going to be hungry in a short order of time, big short order of time. So they would have to be preppers of all the children they have. Well, I don't think they have as many as they used to, but yeah, they definitely used to. But hey, everybody, back in the old days, everybody had lots of kids. I had a great uncle who had 20 kids himself. I don't know, maybe it's 21. So I got a bunch of cousins somewhere. My great granddad was one of 20. My great granddad, Goodman Hugh Allison, had 19 brothers and sisters, and 18 of them raised families. Infant mortality was high, but most of them survived. 18 of them grew up and raised families. I got a lot of kin folks somewhere. People always ask me, are you kin to this Allison, that Allison? I go, probably. There's a bunch of them came down from, my branch of the Allison family originated out of Northwest Georgia. They went in and bought their land from the Indians, paid a decent price for it, and lived among the Cherokee. They didn't go in and take it from them. They went in and lived among them. They bought it and were there living amongst them. And they came down in a wagon train, I'm told, from Virginia. So there was a whole family of Allisons. They have a big Allison reunion in Gainesville, Georgia every year. So that area, Northwest Georgia, people ask me about the racing Allisons out of Talladega. Well, Talladega is not far from there. So I expect that group probably originated from the same place. And they do have resemblances to the Allisons from the area there. The Allison families from around there are known for having dark eyes and usually dark complexions, probably a little Indian blood in them. Anyway, so in any event, yeah, we got a lot of kin. And people ask me, am I kin to this one, or kin to that one? Like Clay Allison, possibly. It's a possibility, strong possibility. Maybe distant, but a strong possibility. Well, my dinner is up. Catch you later. Rodney, salute to you. Thank you for being here. All righty, folks. So let's do the weather real fast. And we will share screen. Go a little bit more than we usually do. Yeah, we got a lot of rain here where I'm at. So I'm right about here. That stuff's all coming my way. Looks like a little jetliner or a little rocket blasting off heading my direction. That's pretty intense. It's been pretty light. Most of this has been light rain. It's been raining here since yesterday. And I'm sure Brandy's getting some of this stuff streaming right out of the Gulf. It's probably warm down there. It's warmed up here some. I can see behind the front, we got air coming out of the north. So Maine's got air coming out of the east. We got snow all over the west. So let's start up in Maine. We'll work our way down and around. We'll go, we had somebody here earlier from Scotland. We'll definitely go to Scotland. We usually get somebody from England and Norway. We'll go there. All right, looks like you're above freezing up there, most of it. Houghton is 35. Yeah, you're above freezing right now. So that's a treat for people in that area to be above freezing. But Caribou is just right at it. And it's freezing up here. All right, the New England states are just above freezing for the most part. New York, upstate. There's a lot of conservative people up here. In upstate New York, they're ruled by this little clique of people down here, unfortunately for them. So, yeah, I used to work with a guy from upstate New York. He was extremely conservative. Altoona, Pennsylvania is 41. We got Altoona here in Alabama. Yeah, my oldest brother used to date a girl from Altoona, Alabama. West by Golly, Virginia is mostly in the 50s, a little bit of 40s up in there. Raleigh, 59. Fayetteville, 61. We should have some people in the Fayetteville area tonight. Samuel Turner, aren't you from this area? All right. Hunts Patch is double nickel. Macon Bacon is 59. Hot Atlanta is 59. Let's zoom in here. Ardmore is 53. I always thought that was a strange name, and I found there's an Ardmore. I think in Oklahoma. It's either Oklahoma or Arkansas. Yeah, I discovered there was another Ardmore. I thought that was a real strange name. Ardmore, like Aardvark. Where do you come up with a name like Ardmore? Well, yeah, I go to Ardmore a lot. I go to Ardmore more than Huntsville, a lot more. The state line there is the main street in Ardmore. There's Ardmore, Tennessee, and Ardmore, Alabama. State line is the main street. Montgomery is 62. All right, y'all got down in Margaritaville, where Brandy is at. It's mostly in the 60s. 64. Dothan, 61. I got my first worms from right over here in Slocum. Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Used to do some National Guard training there. 64. Slidell. You got a NASA center down there, close to Slidell. 66. Been there. Spent a few nights in Slidell. Slid into Slidell, Baton Rouge. Nolans, 66. Shreveport, double nickel. Planet Houston is 66. Yeah, Tomball, 64. Okay. And we get some Abilene, it's 52. Wait, all right. Dallas and Fort Worth are 50. Waco, 53. All right, looks like it's 35 around El Paso. We got Doug from there, Alamogordo, 34. Been up there a few times. They got a space museum. They need to talk to them, see if they still want my DCX. I can let them take it. I don't want to ship it all the way to Arizona. Snowflakes, 26 degrees. It is colder out there than it is here now, and it's snowing. It is snowing and snowflakes. Shola looks like they just got through the snow at 23. Jesse Mills is from this area. I got something in this area. St. John's is 26. Alpine, 17. Let's see what it is down around Tucson. 37, Cowgirl in Arizona. Does that sound right to you? Actually, I think this should be right here. Not sure. I think this thing's not called out. Let me hit the refresh button. These temperatures might be a little off. May have warmed up a little bit out there. Okay. Tucson's 37. Phoenix is 39. Wow, it's colder. It's colder in Phoenix than it is here right now. Sedona, 19. Flagstaff is 7. Kind of cool up there. All right, Lost Wages is 37. Lost Angels is 41. Now, the company I work for, which has not got me working right now, has suggested there's a job they want me to put in for. They want me apparently to go to Ames, NASA Ames. Wow, I don't know. That's right between San Jose and San Francisco. It puts me in the middle of a city. I'm not too thrilled with that idea. But they do have beautiful redwood forest right here. If you ever seen the movie, the later versions of Planet of the Apes, part of it was filmed in a redwood forest. So, yeah, that might be the better part of that, but I don't know. The cost of living up there is astronomical. But my Bastion boss tells me that that make it worth my time if I was to go there. I don't know what to say. All right, we're now up in West Wokistan. Eugene's 39, 40s and 50s on the coast there from 48 to 50. But inland is cool. 20s, mid-20s inland Oregon. Up and around here in the Seattle area. Seattle's 41, 40s up the coast here. You got to go back to down to Grading Land, and somebody's putting it back out a little bit here. Utah, Salt Lake City is 16, Provo 12, Price is 8. Ooh, Richfield's 3 degrees, -1 in Junction. Wow, Granny, are you in the house? -1 in Junction. Hanksville's 25, Price 39. Wow, got some chilly temperatures. Ogden is 5. Spent a few nights in Ogden, quite a few. Back when I'd be going up to the solid rocket motor plant. And Huntsville, Utah is -4. I think that's a little colder than Huntsville, Alabama. Yikes, -4. Oh, I saw -6 over here in Colorado. No, it's not Colorado. That's Wyoming. Excuse me. Down here in Colorado, we got a bunch of snow. Crestone, they have the energy fair that good friend Diamond likes to go to, 7. Pueblo's 28. Let's go down here into Oklahoma. We got some good friends to channel in Tulsa, 39 there. Oklahoma City's 39. Yeah, let's see. Wendy's in Oklahoma. It is, she's in western Oklahoma. Let's see here. Muskogee, 41. Arkansas. Michelle's from up in this area. It's in the 30s and 40. Look here, 35 here and 44 down here. Fort Smith's 46. That's 10, 11 degrees difference here. Right there, 11 degrees difference. Little Rock's 43. Tupelo, Mississippi, 53. And now for our buddy Brian Perendi, we'll head up to Minnesota. We get through Iowa, 20s. St. Paul, 28. Melrose, 20. It's mostly 20s. And teens up north. That region's the teens, but it warms up as you get further north. That's interesting. It shows how air swirls around. I'll go up here to Alberta. Yeah, we got 2 or 3 people from Alberta that watch the channel, including Arnold. Let's see here. We got Northern Girl Hobby. She's from up here. I don't see her in the house tonight. She's been helping out with I believe she's helping out some with the Discord site. All right, it's just above freezing. 20s and 30s. Low 30s. Slave Wake's 28. Yeah, pretty much the same temperature through most of there. We'll go to Alaska. Got a lot of viewers from Alaska. Mag Rising, don't see him tonight. Where's Alaska Soul, Mag Rising at? I'll probably watch it later. 34 in Anchorage. Homer's 34, Valdez 26. Wasilla, we get people from Wasilla in there some, 28. Delta Junction's warmed up to 30. Fairbanks is 17. Now, it used to always be colder in Delta than Fairbanks. How come Fairbanks? Tananaw's 10. Wow. Kotzebue, 23. Nome, 23. Let's go up here to Proto Bay Area. Barrow's -8. Ooh. -4 there. Dead Horse is -4. Okay. Yeah, I lived there near the Delta Junction once upon a time. See if we got anything super cold in Siberia. -37. That's a bit chilly. Of course, we're in mid-February. Things should start warming up a little bit. Yikes. Yeah. Let's go down under. WWIII probably in the 80s. Let's see. What's WWIII? Come, it's not showing me WWIII. Scroll in. There we go. WWIII 79. Summertime down there, guys. WWIII is always kind of mild, but usually wet. Summertime. More buttons. 102. We got 100 here. 100 in Kent or Alice Springs is 89. That's pretty mild. I got 106 over here. 104 over here. Perth is 91. It's usually cooler when we get down southeast coast. Melbourne's 82. Wow. Melbourne is warmer than Sydney. Sydney is 71. Canberra is 70. Tasmania. We got Hobart at 62. I got 68 up here. We used to get a few people from New Zealand. I haven't seen anybody from New Zealand in a while. We got 52 here, 55 there. Remember, guys, it's summertime down there. We're in the winter. So that's the same temperature as Huntsville, Wellington, 55. It's winter here and summer there. Scroll back up and go to England and Scotland, Norway. A lot of people watching us in those areas. Norway's got some snow. Most people in southern Norway, they're up there. They're mostly right around here. Oslo, capital city's 21. It's usually just a little bit warmer here. And Stavanger, however you say that, 34. Now, what we had somebody here from what country? Oh, yeah, Scotland. Inverness, 32. Glasgow, 37. Now, Inverness is right at freezing. Hull is 44. London, 44. Mostly 40s here. Mid 40s. Dingle's 44, but Dublin's 41. Alrighty. Berlin's 44. Paris, 48. Madrid's 39. It's cooler down here than it is up there by a long shot. Warsaw's 48. Looking Chico's at freezing, 32. That's the Zawalki Gap. That's right there's a place where the war might start. Moscow's at 10. Putin's at 10. And Zelensky and Kiev's at 35. Anywho, that's those guys. Let's see if we can look at another couple of things here. Let's look at total rainfall. Rainfall accumulation here. We'll go this is a better site for looking at that kind of stuff. Just kind of play this forward. Here in the United States, let's look at the accumulated rainfall. Shows where I'm at. We'll get a lot of accumulated rainfall. Look at all that. Went on the West Coast. Seattle area. Yeah, we got a lot of water. We're flooded. Oh, now California's getting it. That's on 20th. That's later in the month. Oh, California's gonna get flooded big time. Look at this, Northern California. A lot here in North Georgia. Let's look at snowfall. Oh, wow. Let's play this forward. That'd be right. What do we like? Oh, February the 10th to the 25th. Let's play it and see what it shows us. 18th. Oh, it just played through too fast. Okay. 10th, 11th, the 12th, 13th. Wow, this is all snowfall, really? To Oklahoma and Missouri, Ohio River. I expect it up here, but wow. A lot of snowfall we're predicting here, guys. Look at that. Iowa, look at Iowa. Northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin. That's a pretty good bit of snowfall. Stop the share. Halo. All righty, it's 3 a.m. here. We've been on the air for 100 minutes. 100 minutes. Randy says when it's perfect, I want to go back this year. Go back where? You can drive to a waterfall. We can come back up here. Where we got what? We do have waterfalls up here. Fort Payne. Oh yeah, Fort Payne, just north of me. Yeah, Fort Payne's got DeSoto Falls. There's a lot of waterfalls here in North Alabama. Knockaloo Falls is a Lookout Mountain close to Gadsden. That's a nice, beautiful waterfall. You got the Little Red River Canyon that runs close to Fort Payne. So yeah, that's beautiful country through there. Definitely. -3C in western Alberta. Okay, Arnold. Daughter lives in California. Colorado. I don't think we covered Colorado too well, did we? Go back and look at Colorado. Let's see. Share screen. I don't know if I was sharing screen then or not. Was I not sharing screen? Not sure if I was or not. I was looking at that stuff. I don't know if you guys were seeing it or not. Sometimes I turn share screen on and off and I forget where I got it on or not. Let's see. We'll go back to Colorado. So I was showing you snowfall. Did y'all miss it? Denver's 14. Now, Colorado Jams in western Colorado. It's snowing in eastern Colorado. Let's see here. Hit the down button. Yeah, around Fort Payne's pretty. Yeah, we got the southern end of the Appalachian Mountains up here in my part of the state I'm in. Most a little bit to the east of me. We have a few hills around here. I didn't get Greg's notification. Wow. Well, you need to check the channel and check back to see. If you're on YouTube, on the left-hand side, if you're looking at the main homepage on YouTube, I don't know if you sit on a phone or not, but if you're on a computer, it usually shows you the channels you subscribe to when they're live. Now, I don't know. It may not for me because that platform seems to be slamming me pretty hard. Aspen's 3, Grand Junction 19. So we got a lot of temperature variation around here. Vail is 1. Steamboat Springs is 10. 14. But down here you got 20s. You got 3, 1, 19, and then here's an upper 20s where it's snowing. All right, we'll stop the share again. Hello. Subs there, no, they're already on the platform. Just look. Yeah, you go back and check my channel every day. Just see if I posted something here on Swivel Head or Green Griggs. I'm trying to put content up every day. And I need to start putting more content on Galactic Griggs because I'm just covering space. They don't demonetize those videos. And yet, I mean, it's definitely all way within any rules they care, anything they care about. Someone said we are not going to have much spring, going right to hot summer. I don't know. This is a super El Nino year, whatever that means. I see different things about that, so it's kind of hard to pin it down. But it does definitely affect weather. Greg, do you get ginseng where you are? I had always used to grow some down in Coleman. You need to grow it under a hardwood. Some of the mountains around here It grows on the side of the mountain. So you can find some ginseng around here. It's real prevalent in the Carolinas and Tennessee, around those mountains through there, maybe Virginia, West Virginia. A lot of people harvest it. I used to harvest a lot of what we called yellow root. I used to sell them in those great big grocery bags. I used to pick a whole grocery bag full of it and sell it for $5. Thought I was making money. Shoot, you'll pay 20-something dollars for a little bitty bag of that stuff now, if you can find it. And that's a big if. I don't think you can hardly find that stuff. We have a place called Blue Hole swimming area. Oh yeah, there's a lot of places called Blue Hole. There's one up in Paint Rock Valley called a spring called the Blue Hole. So that's a pretty common name. Oh, wait a minute. Meteor showers. Okay. Big ancient one. Oh, all right, let's see what else. Alrighty, folks. It is now 3 in the morning. Since we started early, I like to not go to 4 o'clock for a change. So, how many thumbs up? Let me hit the refresh. How many thumbs up we got in here? Well, no, until I hit the refresh. I've got 100 thumbs up. That's good. Appreciate that. Had a little snow overnight, but that was just big stuff was higher up. Okay. All right. So rain, muddy dogs. Yeah, it's just raining here. It's been raining all day today. It rained yesterday. Probably gonna rain tomorrow. Looks things. You saw that big storm coming my way, looking like a rocket heading my direction. So yeah, we're about to get a lot of rain here. Those people there where it's 103 degrees. Yeah. Down in Australia, they got some hot places down there, not in the desert. It's summertime in Australia, and the outback deserts get hot summer. No bout a doubt it. Alrighty, folks. Grand Junction is down in a hole, and Aspen's up higher. Okay, that makes a big difference. Yeah, you can't tell from that map, but that makes a huge difference. Yeah, you get a lot of altitude changes, and in Arizona, northern Arizona is up high. You get up to Flagstaff, it's even higher. You get around Show Low is higher. My part's a little bit lower, but my area is 5,560 feet. That's what my property is at. But you get up to Show Low, 6,000 feet. You get over toward Flagstaff, what is it, 7,000? You get over toward the Continental Divide, you're going across 8,000 feet. That's not that far away. Hey, Rodney, good to see you back. You missed us covering there, the Outback. Yeah, we did go through Australia weather-wise. Glad you rejoined us. Been to Aspen once, but it was August. I've been to Colorado in the winter, spring, and been there in the, I've gone there a fair number of times. Summertime, I did take a little time on one occasion, drive up into the Rocky Mountain State Park, or National Park up there. What was it, Mount Logan? One of the big mountains. Is that the name of it? Colorado Jen? Area where I was looking around. Hill, stop the rain, says Pete. Must be a song. How about dancing in the rain? All righty, Stan, good to see you here. We're going to call it a night. I think it's a good time to call it a night. Like I said, we've been in here for now 107 minutes. Some people complain about the mile high altitude. Yeah, my property's a mile high, over a mile high. And I was concerned about it for a winter. I was afraid of it because I thought my blood oxygen level had been running a little low. I was pretty worried about it, but I adjusted to it pretty well, really, pretty fast. So, oh God, yeah, I'm typing. I can't type. Colorado Jam. Shoot, I try to type. There's no telling what I'll say. Yep. All right, guys. Everybody tell us where you're from. We're gonna call it a night. We're gonna get out of here. It's late. Let's get out of here a little earlier. This 4 o'clock stuff in the morning, that's just too late. It's 3 o'clock. We ought to be getting out of here by 3 whenever we can. All right, let's roll where we're from, and I'll issue my customary thank yous to everyone. Got a full cup of coffee here. I'll take my sleep lying down, taking a cup. That's going on a t-shirt one day. I'll do some coffee mode. I'll put that on the coffee. I'll do some work one day. Just have time to set it up. All right, now we're there. Juanita is in Pennsylvania. Bella Vista, Arkansas. From Michelle, East Texas, unknown vector. Gilbert, Arizona, Sub-Zero. Okay. Melbourne, down under, Gabby B. Melbourne, all right. Madison, Alabama, 15 miles west of you. I know where you're at, John. And John used to come see me at the farmer's market. Not so great state in New York. Well, bless your heart, Pete. Bless your heart. Yeah, I had a Queensland. Okay, Rodney. So we got a couple from down under in here tonight. So I went to LeakCon. I gave 2 talks at the LeakCon that back in 2019. I met a lady there. I won't say her name, but she was in upstate New York. I told her she was going to be a lamb chop when the grid went down. She took that pretty serious. She sold her place and bought a place close to where I'm at now. So I don't think she's going to be a lamb chop anymore. She's in a good prepper area, her and her husband. I got night. I want to watch for the snow to get here. All right, David, that sounds good. All righty. Oh yeah, I have a wood stove. That sounds good. Yeah, well, I got one for Arizona. And hopefully I'll get that set up in the not too distant future here. And if I find some time, I need to edit a little bit of my construction video from my tiny home there. Maybe I'll start putting. I got one video that I think is kind of all together. I can probably put that up, and then I'll probably show some other videos I got to piece together for the earlier phases and later phases of construction. Okay, what's that? Hey, the unknown knows BY, whatever that is, Voivod. Yeah, we're about done here. You have to catch this video on the rewind. Northern border of Maine. Yeah, I know where you're at. You're on the Canadian border. Oh, I had an article pulled up about these. I don't know what happened. I didn't see it. Naturita, Colorado. Yeah, there's a bunch of fungus going around there. I thought I had that article pulled up, but I might have accidentally closed it when I was going back and forth. I'll have to talk about that in my future. There's a lot of fungus going around. A lot of people getting affected, and some people don't make it through that. So y'all need to be on the wares about that. I saved my pop's heat roller. Have any idea how to use it? I don't even know what that is, Juanita. Heat roller. I guess that's some kind of stove. Oh, yikes. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I go to San Francisco. You're going to have to pray for me. Oh, it's a band. Oh, band. Wait a minute. You said you know how to use it. I ain't like a band saw or a band that plays. Yes, burning coal. Okay. Yeah, we used to have a lot of coal stoves when I was a kid. It used to be coal yards in all the little towns around. You used to go there and scoop your coal up. Yeah, I haven't seen a coal yard in years. I don't even know where a coal yard is now. Back when I got my blacksmith forge back in the 70s, I could go to the coal yard and get that real fine stuff. That was the best stuff to put in the blacksmith forge, that little bitty fine coal. You didn't want chunks. You wanted to basically almost dust. But you could get that. Now you could get a local. Just go to the coal yard and go get it. Anywho. All righty, folks. I think we're about to call it a night. So thank you, super chatters, one and all. Really appreciate it. Gabby, I can't probably remember them all. Samuel Turner was awesome. And yeah, I think we had one other one in here tonight. Thank you, all you super chatters. Thank you very much. Yeah, you made my day today. Y'all put me over the halfway mark. Y'all double what I've got all month so far tonight. So thank you, Super Chatters. Thank you, mods. You've done a great job posting links and keeping everything clean in here. So I appreciate all you. Oh yeah, Michelle, she gave me a super chat straight to the donate button. Let's see if I got any others. Meantime, before I get out of here. That was it right now for the night. Anyway, appreciate that. Never thought about being somewhere or the other when the grid went down. But yeah, Arizona would be a great place to be. Arizona would be a good place to be, my part of Arizona. Anyway, again, thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And to one and all, a good night or a good morning, whichever the case may be. Good day. And we got people all around the world in here. So I hope you all have a good